So just as a heads up, Deb, the link you sent was the same one I had originally, but the passcode was blank.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to have a passcode.
Yeah.
And it's asking me for a passcode.
Oh, that's interesting.
I usually don't follow the link. I follow the meeting information because my computer that I use is not attached to the Board of Education email.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Do you have the other
That's
one?
okay. I do.
Okay.
Yeah. If I can, but if you can just put it in the chat for me, if that's possible, or email.
Can I
email? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll email it to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we are streaming live on YouTube now, and we are recording. So I think everything is good to go.
Okay, then welcome everybody. I'm going to call the meeting to order and ask for a motion for executive session for the purpose of discussing collective negotiations of the Teachers Association, clerical paraprofessional, and the custodial maintenance pursuant to Article 14 of the Civil Service Law and the employment history of a particular person. I'll ask for motions, please. Megan and Jen, all in favor? Okay, so leave this link, go to the executive session link, and then after that, we will come back here. Deb, I have 6:30. Okay to start? Okay, great. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to everybody who's watching tonight. Thank you for being here. I will call the meeting to order and ask everyone to stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. Hello, everyone. Jamie, I'll turn it right over to you, please.
Good evening, everybody. So I have two things. One, I'll save if Nate Tierlink is able to join us because I don't want to steal his thunder just in case he wants to share it. But if he doesn't join us, I'll share it. One would be I wanted to publicly thank the so many people who made last week's budget and board elections vote a success. First and foremost, Matt Fitch and his office. They do so much work on this budget creation process, meeting with many stakeholders and really kind of putting together all the documents to arrive at a final destination. That destination is presented to the board in many different times and many different drafts. And so I really appreciate his skilled expertise and the work that he puts into it. And I think, he meets with a lot of our administrators. He meets with other curriculum area lead teachers to look at their budgetary needs. And all of those folks put a ton of time into it too. And I just need to thank them for that. And of course, Comet, always working towards the budget so we can deliver on what's best for our students. And then I'd also like to say a major kudos and thank you to Debbie Sunlove. That day takes so much coordination and logistics. I think her day starts typically at 6 a.m. and doesn't end until about 10 p.m. And she literally never leaves the voting rooms. She is there all day long. And she has to find people who can work those votes, who are also willing to serve all day long. And it's an exhausting day. And I told her the other day that I really just don't ever worry about the budget because she's in charge of all the logistics and coordination, and whatever she does it so well. And so thank you to Matt and Debbie and everybody who makes that day possible, irregardless of the outcome of the vote. I just have so much faith and gratitude for your skilled expertise. So thank you.
Yes. Echoed. Thank you to everybody.
And because Nate may not be joining us, I just want to share that every year the Wayne Finger Lakes region puts on these Special Olympics, and it's hosted at a variety of different schools for 2-year increments. And this year, because of COVID and because some of those students have pre-existing conditions that we're just worried about a number of students gathering for that event, 25 schools, literally thousands of students to compete, that the Wayne Finger Lakes Special Olympics decided that this year's Special Olympics would only be for 9th to 12th graders. And they had a wonderful event. SOTUS hosted it. Several of us made it out there to cheer on the students, and it was fantastic. But like in most cases, our staff, they don't like it when our students miss an opportunity. And so we had a number of staff members decide that we needed to host our own Special Olympics for K through 8. So they had this opportunity. Because remember, Special Olympics didn't happen the last couple of years due to COVID. And so last Friday on Braves Field, gathered all of our K through 8 students to compete in our very own Canandaigua Special Olympics. And it was, other than the rain, a slight rain delay, it was absolutely fantastic. Families came to cheer on their children and our students. We had a number of academy students that came down and acted as mentors to help all of the students in all of the competitions. We had announcers, just like a lacrosse game or a football game, we had announcing happening over the PA systems. Our electronic scoreboard had every athlete that competed, their picture and their name. And wow, were they excited every time they saw their picture and their name come up on that electronic scoreboard. It was just awesome. And I've received a number of emails just today from our staff, thankful for the people who really went the extra mile to make it happen. And so one of the things I should point out, Lisa Cook, Beth Aparo, Caroline Chapman, and so many others. I hate naming names just because I know sometimes we forget some, but those were some that were mentioned to me in some of the emails for making this happen. There were many others, but the point is, a number of our staff they're saying that it was so well done. They hope that we do that in the future with our K-8 students, that it felt more personal. It wasn't as stimulating as a large event. And so sometimes it creates a challenging environment for some of our students, but this one didn't do that. It was a little more calming, a little more spaced out, and just people found it to be a fabulous event. So I wanted to point out our staff going way above and beyond to provide opportunities for our students. Our band went down there and they performed to welcome all the athletes. We had our own torch passing process that happened with all of our students that were involved in that. And then the welcome back. So when the event ended, students were welcomed back to their buildings. All the students and staff came out of the building to cheer them on and welcome them back from the Special Olympics. So it was just a really fantastic feel-good moment on Friday. And I know some of you were able to join us to see some of it. And I wanted you all to hear how fabulous it went. It really is something to be proud of.
Great. Thank you, Jamie. And I will be recognizing Nate on Friday at the awards assembly. And I would have said this with him here tonight, but we are his colleagues. So I'm going to say a couple of words now. He was just an exceptional student representative. On a normal first day for student rep, we would show them where they're sitting and introduce them to people and tell them when they were speaking during the meeting and have a little chit chat. And of course, this year, Nate got that. And he also was introduced to our secure location and our student resource officers, and what we would do in the event of a disrupted meeting. So a very different scenario. And he had such poise and such maturity and participated fully around some really tricky topics, student mental health, masks, just a lot of really big things for a 17-year-old emerging adult. And so what a terrific job he did. And I'll be really honored to recognize him on Friday in front of his peers. So if anybody's listening and you know Nate, tell him we love him. And we are really proud of him. So that's all I have. Anything else from you, Jamie? Okay, then we'll move on to the minutes. I'll ask for motions, please. Julianne and Milton, questions or comments? All in favor? That carries unanimously, Deb. And warrants, I spoke with Beth, so I'm going to make a motion on her behalf. Michelle, a few seconds. Sorry, I jumped the gun there.
That was okay. I was going to make a motion on behalf of both of us, but you beat me to it. So yes, I will move them as well.
Okay, great. Questions or comments from anyone? All in favor? That carries unanimously also. And we have a consensus agenda. I'll ask for motions, please. Jen, Michelle, questions or comments? All in favor? That carries unanimously. We are just flying through, my goodness. Let's see, district committee reports. I think character education met. Jamie, were you going to report out on that?
Yep, I can report out on that. We had a really great character education meeting this past week in person. We haven't had an in-person character ed meeting since 2019, and it's really hard to push forward character education in a virtual environment where people are trying to avoid people. But that was our first one being back in person, and we really weren't sure what to expect. So we wanted to more engage in conversation with our community partners. We had a fairly good attendance. I think we had maybe 10 or so community partners join us for the conversation. And what we asked was, what are the trends? What are the patterns? What are we seeing the needs in our community around character education? And the themes kind of centered around mental health, which is no surprise to us, but there's also this disconnectedness coming out of COVID. And when we shared kind of the state of the district, we talked a little bit about the enrichment opportunities on a Saturday that we've been doing this year with the federal stimulus money. And our community partners had this fantastic idea, because we talked about our inability to sustain that after the federal money is gone. We have about 50 community partners, and they said, well, maybe we can partner with you on that to continue those Saturday enrichment opportunities. And I asked, what they meant by that. And, they had a lot of great ideas. You know, we have businesses in town like Full Send that maybe would want to come and do some skateboarding lessons, or other, you know, maybe the Canandaigua watershed that would want to talk about our stream here and kind of being good stewards to the environment. And that could be an enrichment opportunity, or a fly fishing or sailing. Maybe the yacht club would want to come and do a sailing thing for students. And the opportunities and the ideas were endless. And people got extraordinarily excited about this concept, because what it did is it may create an opportunity to pull folks together and help them find something they're passionate or excited about, and then give them kind of a social network with other people who are also interested and passionate about that too. Terry Shipley was there, and she shared with Debbie that, you know, she wasn't sure if it was her time to maybe step down. She'd been doing this for so long, and the conversation was so exciting for her that she's going to stick with it, thankfully. And so we're going to call together another meeting and invite all of our community partners together to brainstorm what could we do this coming year on those Saturdays to kind of highlight some of these community partnerships and engage students in learning something new and different that the community might have to offer. And so more to announce, and please stay tuned, but we're really excited about this direction for Character Ed.
Great, thank you. CIE, Matt, will you report out, please?
I will. So our last CIE meeting, we had a couple of different things we were able to accomplish. The first was we reviewed the feedback from our summer curriculum writing committee, and then made some final decisions regarding allocations for time that were requested from the different proposals across the district. We talked about our membership for next year. We will have some members returning, but we'll also welcome some new faces. So that was a piece we also talked about. We had our typical professional learning update. And again, this past month, we had almost 500 people engage in specific workshops. It's the second consecutive month that we've had around that number, which is really fantastic. We also looked at a canon of literature request for grade 1. And then we wrapped up the meeting as we tend to do each year around this time, is take an opportunity to pause and reflect on our work this year and seek feedback from the council about things that went really well, and any feedback to try to help inform how the group is working. We take that feedback, review it as a team, and then try to make some adjustments for future meetings. So that was our most recent meeting.
Great, thank you, Matt.
Welcome.
Jamie, any final comments?
I have none, but a few of us are watching Mr. Fitch, who's clearly coaching his kids, wondering, you know, is he okay? Is he going to get hit by a crossball or anything like that? But that's been a little entertaining with us. And we had a feeling this would be a rather short board meeting. Keep in mind, the next board meeting, we hope to recognize retirees.
Yes, that'll be a really special night. Great. Well, thanks for being with us tonight, everybody. I'll ask for motions to adjourn, please. Jen, Michelle, all in favor? Awesome. Good night, everybody. Welcome, Jenny.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night,